Are you a healer, witch, creative, or magical entrepreneur who's ready to fill your high-ticket one-on-one or group coaching program, and you want a sales page that will do the selling for you? Maybe you're tired of having a calendar full of sales calls and you want a sales page that can clearly articulate your offer and guide interested clients to feel ready to buy without needing to talk to you first. Maybe you already have a sales page and people are clicking on it but not reaching out, and you want to feel clear on what to say and what not to say to turn interested people into actual buyers. Having sales pages for my offers has led to filling a high-ticket group coaching program with 10 clients at $1,000 each while traveling on vacation for 2 weeks and launching using repurposed content. Having 5-figure months from sales into my $5,000 evergreen mastermind with no live launching beyond daily social media content. Signing clients into my $17,000 private mentorship program with no sales calls. When you book my Cosmic Sales Intensive, you'll walk away with a full, clear, compelling sales page for your high-ticket offer that will attract ready-to-buy clients and that you can continue to make sales with for years to come. Clients who have been through this offer have created a sales page that went on to sell out a high-ticket relationship coaching mastermind, had 20 applications within 48 hours of publishing, sold several $15,000 private mentorship packages, and even had a 6-figure launch with the sales page and content strategy we created within just a few weeks. Stop losing people with fluffy language that sounds the same as so many others in your industry, and clearly articulate why your work is worth $5,000 to $10,000 plus, even when you sell things like astrology, human design, breathwork, mindset coaching, or energy work. Book your Cosmic Sales Intensive now at withsarahmac.com or via the link in my description. This is Sarah Mac and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a 6-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I am here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, Sarah Mac here, and welcome back to part 3 of Cosmic Clients, my 3-part training series to fill your high-ticket offer with dream clients guided by your astrology chart. So if you're just tuning in and you've missed part 1 and part 2, definitely go back and check them out. Part 1, we dove into the root of your strategy gap and which placement in your astrology chart to look at to understand why selling maybe has felt so hard and what to do about it. In part 2, I shared my cosmic content strategy, my 20-minute content creation process that unlocks consistent, sustainable selling, plus how to use your astrology to identify your most compatible dream client and speak directly to them in your content. And now we are on to juicy part 3, where I'm going to share the Freedom Blueprint and what it really takes to build a 6-figure high-ticket coaching business. I'm going to dive into the 5 pillars of a sustainable business and the number 1 reason why most coaches skip the most important one. I'm going to share daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly actions, exactly what to focus on and when, and what to do when you're showing up consistently and you're still not making sales. And you're going to discover why cookie cutter strategy will just always underdeliver, and what personalized astrology-guided business strategy unlocks for you. So this is for you when you are ready for easier sales from dream clients at higher price points. No more throwing spaghetti at the wall, no more guesswork, really knowing exactly which actions to prioritize so you can get the rest off your plate and actually have more spaciousness in your life outside of your business. So before we dive in, I want to share with you what's really possible when you follow through on a strategy that's custom built for you using your astrology chart. And using my methodology that has got me and my clients to six-figure years in business multiple times in multiple different ways. And also, I really want to emphasize the power of working long-term with a mentor who actually gets to know you, your chart, and your business to build out a strategy you actually like enough to follow through on to reach your big goals in your dream business. Because as we know, as creatives, we can be incredibly wily and resistant to some of the repetitive actions that are really required to create sustainability. So I'm here to make it fun for you and to find the path of least resistance and ease to just grease your wheels so that you can stay in momentum and show up and take the action that is required to build the vision and the dreams and the desires that are on your heart and that won't leave you alone until you just hurry up and figure out how to get there. So first, I want you to hear from my client, Elizabeth, as proof and inspiration. She shares what it really took to go from feeling so resistant to showing up and sharing her story in her content, feeling super resistant to a lot of sales strategies, to going on to have a $27,000 month in her business, from working together to build a custom strategy to fill her high ticket offer that we designed and she launched. We have with us Elizabeth Recito. She spent 20 years in Silicon Valley and Boston tech leadership, managing $100 million in products and building communities of over 4 million members across 180 countries. She eventually left corporate when the cost of staying outweighed everything the title and salary promised. Now, as a career pivot and executive coach specializing in nervous system regulation, she helps high-performing professionals do the same, build a visible professional brand, translate their experience, and become a top candidate in any industry. Elizabeth is also a client of mine, so I know her and her work intimately. I cannot wait for you to get to know her. She is a genius. I would love for you to share a little bit about, like, where were you when you hired me? Like, what did you feel like you really needed support with?
Yeah, I'd say close to 2 years in, maybe around 18 months. And I'd had success, but like you talk about, it was really feast or famine. And I had varying energy because I have several autoimmune diseases and, trying to figure out how to balance that. I knew, yes, I had the story to tell and I was confident in it, but how do I tell it? How do I translate it? How do I tell the more personal, vulnerable side? That visibility gremlin, that's why I decided to work with you. I'd been listening to your podcast for a long time. We'd been in a different astrology community together, and I got to just know you and really trust your authenticity. And you were the right person, I think, at that time to help hold me both accountable, but hold me in a safe space to say, okay, this is what I've been through, and this is what helped me level up. And this is like really the process in which you can do it in a way that isn't like making your nervous system go haywire, right? You can do it with joy, you can do it with play, you can do it with ease. I don't know if I can swear on this, but you once just let it be fucking easy. And I actually would write that at the top of my planner and my to-do list every single week as a reminder, right? We don't even realize like the way in which we work when we start entrepreneurship is something like we carry with us. And I felt those like creeping back in. And so I was like, all right, Sarah is the person for me. She's just so perfect at copy and being able to translate her stories and ideas so crystal clearly and practically. But you had that side of wisdom too. That's what really gravitated me towards working together.
Oh, amazing. I love that so much. Thank you for that reflection. And what would you say were the most valuable results that you achieved as a result of the work that we did together?
Yeah, it was an interesting process. So you helped me realize that like I didn't have to do the cold DMs because I hated doing them, right? And trying to follow up a sales in the DM and it's like not working. Hey, let's do something different. And so I love building relationships with people and really helping them. So we designed together that, if you will, kind of study. I did a gratitude campaign in the fall. I knew so many people and my friends were getting laid off. And I said, hey, for anyone who's going through this transition, isn't sure what's next, is having a really hard time, I'm giving away 20 free calls, right? No pitch, just a conversation. And I also was going to use that to write a series of articles. Like I was building like this data. And from those conversations, it was during the holidays, it was at the end of the year, but I ended up having a 27K month in January and I signed my like highest number of clients ever. And yes, it started like in October and November, but those were all people who came in through those conversations.
Incredible. Yay. And for anyone who is thinking about working with me, what would you tell them?
I'd say, honestly, take the leap, but be honest and give yourself space, right? You're going to try to do everything, do all the courses, do the amazing amount of resources, but the magic is really in between in the days. It's in talking to you, it's in the voice notes, it's in learning how to like take your chart, your solar return or your lunar return, and like go on a walk with your voice note and like let it move through your body and like really feel where is that emotion coming up or where is that story sitting for you or where is it stuck maybe and what do you want to do about it? Or hey, I'm just really I'm having a hard time with this. I feel stuck. I'm really not sure what the path is forward. And I say, if you're not willing to go there and really be vulnerable, you're not going to get as much out of it as possible. And so if you're really feeling lost or you really want to work on your storytelling and you want to work on how do I create content? How do I like build relationships and an audience in a way that feels really authentic and aligned? I'd say that's a good point to work with you.
Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that so much. Okay. So you've decided you're going all in on selling your high ticket offer. Maybe you've even worked with me and got some incredible sales page copy. You've decided on the details. You know who your dream client is for that offer and you're going for it. You're all in on showing up to sell and pitch your offer, to share your story confidently and to invite your ideal client to work with you and to commit until that starts to happen. So, what do you do if you're consistently showing up and not making sales? Or maybe you're getting a ton of engagement, likes or comments or responses or even views or reach on the content that you're creating. Or maybe you're getting none of those things and it's really demoralizing you. Maybe you're concerned that your email open rates are low or that barely any people are actually seeing your content or reading your emails. Or maybe you're booking sales calls, but you're hearing no a lot. What starts to happen? You start to feel less confident. Maybe you start to show up less. Maybe you start to resent social media. And maybe you get into stories about the market being oversaturated, the economy making people not want to invest, or maybe you have been hanging on to some beliefs that your community are just not the kind of people who invest in high-ticket mentorship. Maybe you start to think the answer is in a new, shiny tactic. So you buy a course on how to make viral reels, or you sign up for another program, or you start learning about how to run Facebook ads and maybe even invest a few $1,000s and then give up when that doesn't work either, or brings you a bunch of unideal clients that you actually don't love working with. This is all so real and part of growing a business, so know that you are not alone. So maybe you're starting to wonder, how do I connect with more clients without taking a bunch of courses to become an online marketing expert? How do I stick to a clear strategy I actually like long enough for it to work? And what happens if it stops working? So now I'm going to share with you my framework. I'm really pulling back the curtain on what it really takes to bring your vision of turning strangers on the internet into dream clients in your high ticket offer with consistency and sustainability. So number one, you've got to have that clear offer with a clear result. Number two, you have to have a clear client. Know who you serve and not, I can help everyone do multiple things. No, what is your highest value result that your offer creates for that client that you are truly most lit up and also qualified to help? Number three, what is the clear message that communicates all of that? Then number four, having a clear content strategy where you are having these conversations, whether that is in person, whether it's one-to-one, whether it's online, whether it's one-to-many. And then number five is having a clear community building strategy in easy ways that you actually like to connect with other humans. Having consistency and commitment and skill building in each of these areas is how it gets easier and easier to sign amazing clients into your high ticket offer. So you have to stop switching offers, switching platforms, switching price points, creating new things all the time, switching content types, chasing the latest viral trend, getting input from too many strategies, or worse, following a strategy that's actually not appropriate for your business goals, your stage of business, or your business model. For example, trying to apply the strategies of an established brand and business to your own business in its infancy years, or chasing trends or influencer business models when your focus should be on conversions and sales conversations. Don't focus on virality rather than really dialing in your sales strategy. Do you want to reach millions or do you want to make money? That is something that you need to get really clear on, and that your actions and your strategy needs to accurately reflect. So if you want to make money and you want to do that without needing to build an audience of squillions of people, I'm going to break it down for you exactly what to focus on daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. So daily, what should be happening? Number one, mindset. We've already talked about this. Number two, generating sales conversations. So what that means is reach outs to your existing clients or online community, connecting with people offline, sending DMs. It can also include calls to actions from your content, booking sales calls and connection and networking calls. Really any way of getting in front of people, getting people's attention, pitching and inviting people in to work with you in any and all of these ways. It's very simply setting up conversations with people about how you can help them. And it's really simple. The more conversations you have, the more sales you're going to make. So there are obviously two main ways of doing this. One of them is through content, which is one-to-many, or through one-on-one conversations with people in your network. And we're going to talk about growing your network as well. But this should be happening every day. If you want to make more money, be focused on sales activities every day. And then number three is focusing on producing content. So if you want to attract clients online, you need a consistent presence and brand, and that happens through your content process. So this can also be a weekly activity when you get good at batching and you've created a content ecosystem and you've found that flow and you've built those skill sets and those systems. But in the meantime, a little every day leads to a business that has a consistent presence, that consistently attracts clients, and that consistently makes money. So do these three things before anything else. And it's so important to recognize when you are in the skill building phase, which, to be honest with you, never freaking ends, right? But the skill sets you invest in building will carry you and bring you more power and strength into the later years of your business. So the fastest way to get good at the skills that produce the results you want is to just do it a little bit every day. So the real question here is, are you willing to commit 15 to 30 minutes at an absolute bare minimum each day on each of these things to build your dream life and business? So whatever comes up for you in answer to that question is the gap that you need to close to get the results that you want in your business, and really what you want to prioritize seeking support with. So if you need more childcare, start there. If you need support with your mindset, start there. If you've got questions around strategy, start there. Get support, show up, get this done, keep putting one foot in front of the other. So those are our daily priorities. Our weekly priorities are one piece of long form content. That can be an email, a podcast, a YouTube video, a 10 to 15 minute live stream, a blog. But the most important thing you need to be doing here is sharing your story so people can connect and get to know you, and sharing value that nurtures your audience. And then, of course, pitching your offer and inviting people to work with you so they know how you can help them. And then the second weekly activity is really focusing on your short form content that promotes your long form content. So pick one social media channel and use it to drive people to your long form piece of content. Simple, focused. Our monthly priorities are having an offer launch plan. So deciding, what are you launching? What content will you create to promote it? And when and where will you show up to talk about it with others? And then the next piece is visibility content that builds connections and gets you in front of new people. So this can be online, getting in front of new faces on your primary social channel, or it can be offline networking, or it can be in the DMs or as a guest teacher or speaker through collaborations. So pick 2 to 3 activities that you like and do them regularly each month. You do not need to do all of these things. And then quarterly, decide on your enrollment and sales goals. Know where you're going. Be super, super clear on the offer, the vehicle that you want to generate this income through, and really commit to meeting these goals before you switch your offer or strategy. So if you're not getting the results or you're not seeing progress in a way that feels satisfyingly fast enough for you, probably your energy is too scattered. I've seen clients go and, sign 3, 5, 10, 15K clients within a matter of days or weeks when they get extremely focused on the strategies that I have taught you in this series. So if that is not happening for you, get focused, move selling your high ticket offer and closing whatever gaps you have around that to the top of your priority list and take action every day. And this can be you. It doesn't need to take weeks or months. Yes, sometimes it can take weeks. Sometimes it can take months, but that timeline is actually within your power. And it's all about what are you willing and able to prioritize. So here's the second thing I want to touch on for quarterly focus, because often the number one reason we're not getting those results, like I said, it's because we're not prioritizing. It's because we're scattering our energy in too many different places. So I want to invite you to decide on your top 3 strategic project goals. Having any more of a focus than 3 major projects in a quarter, you're setting yourself up for failure, especially, maybe if you're a single person, you don't have a partner, you don't have kids, you're in perfect health, like you can work 18-hour days if you want to. Maybe you can take on an extra project, but if you like spaciousness, if you like sleeping, if you like to have a balanced life, you have to be realistic with what you're attempting with your time and energy. So decide on the top 3 project goals. And then within that, what are the 2 to 5 content types that you will create on your primary social channel? What's the long form content that you will create to nurture your community and to promote your work? And what 2 to 3 activities will you do repetitively each month to grow your visibility? If, for example, you can pitch yourself as a guest podcast speaker or as a live event speaker or guest teacher in other people's communities. You can go to in-person networking events. You can run your own online or offline events. You can cross-pollinate audiences with peers through collaboration. You can run ads, which, caveat, you should only run ads when you have a proven offer, proven message, and proven content ecosystem that is already successfully attracting and converting dream clients. Until you have that, do not put money behind your content thinking it will magically fix it. It won't. And then the third thing to focus on each quarter is really to review and refine your strategy. Do not try a million strategies or platforms or switch and flip from one thing to another and be like, oh, Instagram feels hard, so I'm going over on Substack. Oh, Substack feels hard, so I'm going over on YouTube. Do not half-ass your strategy and then switch before you gave it a real chance to work for you. And be realistic with your desires, your time, and your energy. Do not tell yourself or repeatedly put on your to-do list a bunch of activities that you don't have the skills for, you don't even have the desire for, let alone the bandwidth and capacity for. So choose wisely and keep it simple. And if you need help designing a strategy, please reach out. Do not do this alone. So go and download the worksheet to get clarity on your strategy and next steps in the description box below. And this is really where having mentorship to help you tailor your business strategy and next steps based on your astrology, also your current skill level and your phase of life and current capacity is such a game changer. Plus, working with someone who really takes the time to get to know you and your business, so can spot your tendencies to distract, to get sidetracked, or to strategy hop instead of really committing to following through on the simple strategies that will get you paid faster. And know your resistance patterns. Often we don't know we're doing it. And by the way, your chart will tell you everything about your resistance patterns and your self-sabotaging tendencies. It's really a goldmine for bringing our unconscious patterns into our conscious awareness, which is actually something we look at each month in one of our workshops, which is focused on money, astrology, and resistance inside the Cosmic Freedom Lab, where I get to understand your chart piece by piece and set you up with the tools, rituals, and accountability to overcome your patterns that are getting in the way of the actions that get you paid. So what's really required to change your behavior to get different results is to have support instead of wasting time strategy hopping and really putting yourself in a container where you can get into the nitty gritty. And I can give you feedback on how effective you're actually being and point out the gaps I see so we can build a personalized strategy to close them and really refine it until it's working for you. Here's the truth. There is no one size fits all in business. And guess what? The game is always changing and evolving, just like you are, just like your clients are. So building and adapting your strategy for the season you are in is crucial to sustainability. You really need to get clear on when you actually implement your chosen strategy and you're committing to getting good at working it consistently. How do you pitch yourself? How do you know when you're talking to an ideal client? How do you talk about your work? How do you invite people into your business ecosystem? How do you educate them about how you can help them and your offer? How do you build trust and connection? How are you sharing social proof? How are you balancing sales and marketing with your client delivery in your business offerings and the rest of your life's energy management demands? What resistance is coming up for you around selling or delivering your offers? And what tweaks make it easier and more sustainable and more enjoyable for you specifically? Plus, how do you override resistance, fear, or other people's voices and build your business from self-trust and alignment? How do you know what your true priority next step is that will lead to cash flow, aligned clients, and easy sales? How do you build the skills and habits to produce results consistently throughout different life phases? And how do you build a business you actually enjoy that gives you a life you love so you're excited to show up and take the actions that get you paid instead of feeling like you're pushing a boulder up a hill? This is really the purpose of having a strategic support partner or mentor. And please hear me when I say this. The number one reason you don't already have the clients, sales, results, business, or lifestyle you deeply, deeply desire is because you're in a massive season of growth that requires support. The number of women I see who have wildly big ambitions and beautiful dreams and visions, and then expect so much of themselves without building the adequate support systems necessary to bring their visions to life. It's honestly crazy. And I see this all the time. We expect way too freaking much of ourselves, which is why we set ourselves up for slow growth or failure. And the answer is always more support. And more support is always available. The more support we add, the higher and faster we rise, the more capacity we build, the easier and more fun it becomes. Because you are capable of everything you envision. I fully believe that our visions are real, our desires are signposts, but not solo or with an inadequate amount of support that leaves you feeling stressed, underwhelmed, or lost. And the fastest path to filling the gaps is cash flow. So let's master the skills that get you paid while expanding your bandwidth and expanding your joy. That gets the ball rolling in the direction we want you moving in. Get good at getting paid. That's why I'm so passionate about sharing my work inside the Cosmic Freedom Lab for visionary creators, where we don't just hand out cookie cutter strategy or what worked for me frameworks, but it's the space where we build you tailored strategic guidance relevant to your current life and phase of business, with personalized support guided by your astrology chart to show you your gaps so you're not repeating the same mistakes and wasting time and wondering why it's not working. This is why my clients sign clients into their offer within sometimes days or weeks of working together, because it's personalized support. It's tailored to their business, their work, their message, and their life. And they get it to the place where it's easy, fun, and sustainable for them to apply consistently enough to produce results, but only when you stick to really mastering those skills and strategies. And that's why long-term mentorship is an ongoing support is so, so, so important to keep momentum in your business. You are capable of so much more than your brain would lead you to believe. And having mentorship is the support resource that facilitates that version of you and the result you're truly capable of. But you have to block out the noise. You have to consistently cultivate the mindset and beliefs that fuel the right action. You have to commit and follow through on a clear, sustainable strategy until it works for you. You have to be able to receive feedback, to review and fine-tune your skill sets until they produce results. You have to be honest about your current skills, mindset, capacity and life season, and build your business around that and be willing to make the changes required to follow through on the priorities that will bring your dream life and business to fruition. And believe me, I would know. I have been running my coaching business online since 2017, selling high ticket since year one, which is what got me to six figures within 13 months by doing the things I've just shared with you. I've navigated many different life seasons. I've healed from 5 years of chronic fatigue and burnout from my previous career in film when I first started my business. And I even had long COVID for 13 months where I completely shifted my business model again to radically simplify, removing virtually all calls from my calendar and continuing to sign five-figure client contracts and helping clients to achieve incredible results through voice message coaching. This is a multi-six-figure skill set to really master the skills that lead to clients into a high-ticket offer, doing work you love in sustainable ways in a business that provides flexibility and freedom, one that I have continually invested in since day one in my business. So if you're done trying to figure out what gap you need to close to realize your dream life and business, I want to invite you into the Cosmic Freedom Lab for Visionary Creators, where you get my tailored support on your business with monthly workshops to roll up your sleeves and build the skills that lead to the client enrollments you want, to learn to use your astrology chart to make decisions that leads to results in your business, with weekly training drops to keep you motivated and focused on what actually works, with support to overcome your resistance patterns and make hitting your income goals in fun and sustainable ways and non-negotiable, no matter what shitstorm life has served up for you this week. Because life will never go perfectly, but your business can be sustainable when you build the support structures and skills you need to live your dream life and business, to do the work you know you're meant to be doing, impacting the people you care most about, both through your business and your personal life, being there for your family while still making great money, doing your soul work, publishing and creating the content, and sharing the message and stories that wants to pour through you to change the world and leave a legacy you're super proud of and fulfilled by at the end of each day. So I want to hear from you. How has this landed? I want to hear about it. I want to learn about your work and your business and how I can support you to take the next steps to realizing your big dreams and goals. So go to the description below to book a call to connect or send me a DM on Instagram at Sarah McMagic. Tell me your top takeaway or insights or questions that have come up from this training series. And I want to help you get clear on what is your gap. What is your next step that you know is going to bring you closer to meeting your goals in your business. I can't wait to hear how it landed for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.